So today we're going to discuss about the DAX functions. First, let's understand what is this DAX, and then we'll see where all this can be used. DAX means dynamic analysis expressions. These functions are exactly like what we have Excel functions, but these functions will directly have the calculations, say throughout the columns, or we have some aggregated calculations as well, or we can create a separate table as well. This is more strong because you can use these functions to create calculations throughout the column itself, or you can create an aggregated, say, calculations which you can use it for further reportings, or you can create a separate table itself by using these functions. Right. So I was talking about DAX functions. In DAX, the functions are into three different types. So they are table. Let me go to this data. So once I go to this data, so I'll get some data here. So once I go to this data, so here I can see the calculations. So here I can see three different types, that is column, measure, and table. When I say column, it is giving me the result. Say for example, I have a column here. Let's say customer name. So this is column. When I'm writing a function on these columns, say these columns, the calculation will get applied throughout this table, that is in one column completely. This is for the columns. We also call it as row level calculation. Means every row the calculations will be done. Measure means when I'm aggregating the values. Say I'm calculating some sales, or I'm taking, say, location. Here I have this region and I need to get only the unique values of this. So this will be grouped. Or if you go to this sales, so that will be aggregated, that is total based on each region or something. When I say table, a separate table will be created by using any of these existing tables. So three things you should keep in mind: column, which will actually give me the row level calculation; measure for aggregating the values or say aggregate calculations; table will give me a separate table. When I say column, the calculations will happen immediately in a table where I have selected. Measure, the calculations or say the function will be, the formula will be created, but that will get executed only when I use that in the reports, when I'm dragging and dropping. So you'll understand in more detail once we start working on this DAX functions. So what I have done is I've listed down almost all the frequently used and some advanced functions here one by one. So I'll be using the same examples and I'll be sharing this with you guys also, so that you can use it and you can work on that. Same data what I've used here, I've used the same columns in this DAX functions. Right. So let's start writing the functions. Like in Excel, what we have, the cells, I'll select the cell and I'll be writing a function for that particular cell. And if you want the formula to be copied down, I'll drag it, or I'll copy it and I'll put it in the further range or say cells. But here it's not like that. This actually works the entire column. When I'm writing this DAX functions, what you do is go to this data, select this data and select the table which you are writing the function. Let's say I'll take this location. I want to combine this region and state and get a column here, that is region and state, region hyphen state. So what we'll do, I selected a table here. Now I'll go to this data tools, table tools. Here it says new column. Now we'll work only on the columns. See, in the tooltip also it says, the screen tip it says, write a DAX expression that creates a new column in the selected table and calculates value for each row. That means row level calculation. Now when I click on this new column, I will get a new column here, and then I'll write the function. So you can see I'll get a new column here, and I'll get a formula bar. This is the column heading. Now let me delete this column heading, and I can give my own column heading here. Let me go here and say region state. I just give a column name here. You have to give a column name equals. Now let me just give a function called as concatenate. Here I have this concatenate. Use tab. You don't have to type a complete statement or say complete function name. Just use tab once you select that function name. It lasts for text1 and text2. You can see the parameter as well. Here the screen tip says joins two text strings into one text string. That means we are trying to combine region and state. Let me say region. Type the column name, the field name. When I type that, I'll get this field name with the table name. You can see that. Don't type like this region, comma, like this. This is wrong. You can see that there is some red line what I'm getting. If I get this red line, that means your field name is wrong. You can also see there is one red color mark coming here towards my right hand side. That means the function or say the formula what I'm actually writing is wrong. So what I have to do, just type few characters of the field name. Once I get this field name, I'll say tab. When I use this tab, you can see that it is coming with the table and the field name. This is very important. Now you can see I'm not getting that red color mark here, as well as there is no red underline here. I'll say comma. The second text I'll say state tab, close bracket, and I'll say enter. Once I say enter, these two columns are combined and I'll get the result here. Fine. Next one, let's say I want to concatenate this city as well. Let's say region, state, and city. Let me click on this new column. I will get one more column here. Now let me just delete this. I'll say region, state, city equals. You can give any name here. I'm just trying to give this so that you will easily understand the column which we are combining. I'll use this concatenate. I'll say region. Now this concatenate will take only two columns, only two text. But how will I actually take the third column? In this case, I have to make it nested concatenate. The second text, what you see, the text 2, I have to use like this. Concatenate. Again, it lasts for text 1. I'll say state, comma. Then it lasts for text 2. I'll say city. Close the bracket for this concatenate. One more bracket for other concatenate. Say enter. Now you can see this. All the three columns are available. Means it is concatenate. But what if I want a space here? Then again, that itself is a text. Now let's say I want to add one space here, or say comma or hyphen. Then I have to go here, use concatenate, then say text like this, hard coded text, or I can put a hyphen here and then say close the bracket here, one more bracket because I've used one more concatenate, say enter. I'm getting this added, that is hyphen. But guys, when you're using this concatenate, If I'm actually using more columns to be concatenated, that is combined, then it is very difficult because I have to keep using this concatenate, insert this again, concatenate many times. So use this concatenate function only when you feel that there are only two strings to be added. Otherwise, I'll show you the easiest way. So what I'll do, go here, I'll take one more column, that is new column, and directly instead of using this function concatenate, so what I'll do, let me take this region state and I'll mention it as 2. It should be unique, so you cannot have two columns with the same name, that is two fields with the same name. I mention it as the region state 2. I'll go here, I'll say region ampersand and symbol like what we use in Excel, hyphen then ampersand state. See, I got the state and say enter, I'll get the result. I got the result. Let me go here. I will click on this column again. I want region, state, city with hyphen. Same thing, I'm just trying to have one more column here. I'll say region, state, city, type this region and symbol hyphen. Again and symbol and I'll say hyphen. Okay, we should suppose to give state then ampersand then we'll say city. See, and it is such easier. If you think that you're using something like this, that is you're trying to combine more columns, that directly go for this and instead of going to this concatenate. We understood about the concatenate function or how to combine this text from different fields. So that is what you can see here. All this. So this we are working on the text what we have in the columns. Right. Let's go and see some more text functions. Like in Excel, see it's almost similar to Excel. Let's see how we can change the cases. Case in the sense uppercase or lowercase. Let's go to customer table. I'll go to this customer table. Here I have this customer name. In our Power Query editor also we did, that is in editor what we did. So if you want to convert this data directly, say for example I want to convert this into caps directly in the table itself, the existing data itself, then I can go to Power Query editor. There I can convert this into caps or small letters or proper case or anything. But suppose if you want this to be done using DAX function, then you have to do it in Power BI desktop only. You cannot do it in Power Query editor. Power Query editor is used for editing the existing text. And again, keep in mind all the functions whatever we have written here. Say the functions what we have written here. This will not be available in my Power Query editor. In Power Query editor, only the data which is there in the table which we have imported, that will be available, not these extra columns which we create, that is by using DAX functions. So keep this in mind. Okay, so let me select this customer and let's try to convert the cases. Now we are using text functions. Say customer name, I want to convert this customer into caps, that is uppercase. A new column, I'll get a column. So let's say UCase cust name equals upper of, and I have to mention the column name. I'll say customer name, use tab, close bracket, say enter. The entire text will be converted into caps. Now if you want to make it small letters, that is lowercase, Go to this table tools, say new column, then say case customer name equals lower of customer name. Enter. I got the lowercase. So this is to convert the cases. Next is extracting. Say left, mid, and right. When I say left, mid, and right, that means I'm trying to extract some data from a text that is in the field. Let's go back. Let me take one hard-coded way of using this left, mid, and right. I'll take this data. So here I have this order ID. Let's take the first two columns and separate it, or say last 6 characters or middle 4 characters. We'll try to separate this column. In our Power Query editor, we had an option called a split that was used to split by this, say, delimiters. So if you think that that is okay, then you can do that as well. But what I'm trying to show you is how to separate this by DAX function. So you might ask, sir, I can go to this Power Query editor, I can easily do it. You can do it. I'm not telling it is wrong. You can plan accordingly however you want. Right? So by using this function, how can I separate this order ID into 3 different columns? Let's say this is country code. I will say year, and then we'll say order code, something like that. Let's go to this table tools, say new column, and we'll get a column here. You should select that table where you're writing the function, right? Say we'll make it as function left equals, I'm just giving a column name as function left so that it will be easy for you to understand when I share this file with you. We'll say left of. This left function, what it will do is it will take the text and it will give me the number of characters from left side. So I have this text. Text is nothing but the order ID. So you can see here order ID, comma, I want the first 2 characters. I'll say 2. Say enter. So I got the result here. That is, I'll get the first 2 characters of that column. It's like splitting. I want the last 6 characters. Click on this column. I'll remove this column name. Then I'll say function right equals right of. It lasts for the text. Open bracket. I'll say order ID, comma, I'll say 6. That means 6 characters. I'll say enter. Now I'll get 6 characters from right side. Here. Next, suppose if you want the middle 4 characters. The middle 4 characters. In this case, I have to mention from where I need to extract the data. Like in Excel, we have this mid function, same thing. Left, mid, and right. They work exactly like what we have in Excel. Now let me go here. I'll remove this column name. Then I'll say function mid equals mid of, open bracket. Then it lasts for text. I'll give order ID, comma. Now it lasts for starting position. Starting position means from where I need to start extracting. Say I want to extract it from, say C is 1, 2, 3, 4. From fourth character, that is the starting position, comma, number of characters. So from this fourth position, how many characters I need? Say 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll say 4. Close the bracket. I'll say enter. So I'll get the middle 4 characters. So this is how I can split the column by using left, mid and right. Fine. Next is getting the position. Now whatever we did here, this is hard coded. That is, we are specifically taking as 2 characters or 4 characters or 6 characters. Now we'll see how we can do the same thing by using few more functions, that is dynamic. But for that, what we'll do, we'll go here and we'll see how we can use this positions. So how to get the position, that is by len and by find. Len will actually give me the number of characters in the field. So suppose if you want to find how many characters are there, let's go to customer table. Here I'll go to this customer table, and here I want to see how many characters are there in this customer name. I'll say new column. Then remove this. We'll say function len equals len of, it lasts for text, I'll say customer name, close bracket, and say enter. So once I say enter, it will give me the number of characters in this customer name. What did we take? Okay, see, it's got 10 characters or something. So the number of characters, whatever is there in the column, I'll get here. Find. If you want to find a character, let's say I want to find space in this customer name. Let me go here. I'll say new column. Say function find. Say find and open bracket. Here, let's study the parameters. It says find text. What is the text which I'm trying to find? I'll put a double quote, space, double quote, because I'm trying to find the space, comma, within the text. From which text? Say I'm trying to find it in customer name, comma. It lasts for starting position, means from where I need to start searching for that particular space. I'll say first. That means let's start from searching from first position itself, comma. Here it will ask, suppose if it is not found. In Excel, what will happen if it is not found? It will throw error, say value error. But here I need to mention if the value is not found, what should I do? I'll say 0, or you can give any other values also. I'll say 0, enter. If there is no space, so what it will do? It will give me 0. So I'm getting the position. Say the space is in 5th position. Let's go and see if there are any zeros. Yes, there is a 0. Let's go and filter and see. Yes, see, if there is no space, they given hyphen here, so it is saying no space, so it is giving me 0. Fine. Let me select all, say okay. Now let's come back to this left, right, using it in dynamic. That is, in the previous example, we took the position, that is, we took the number of characters, say left of 4, left of 5, or say right of 5, or mid of something. But what if I want to get, say, the first name here? I want to split this into first name and second name. Now in this case, the number of characters are not same in the first name. So some are say 4 characters, some might be 5 characters, or say here you can see this Alexandra, it is more characters. I don't know how many. So there will be more characters here. So if you want to extract the first name here, or say extract the last name here, then I'll be using this left and right. But I'm not sure about how to divide this because the number of characters from left side will be different. Let's see how we can make it dynamic. Go to this table tools, say new column. Then here say first name equals left of. It lasts for text. Text is nothing but the customer name. Fine, I use this customer name. Say comma, it lasts for number of characters. Here, let's hard code it. In the beginning, I'll say 4 and I'll say enter. We'll see what the result will come, and then we'll try to make it dynamic. So once I get the result here, we can say this, I'm getting the first 4 characters. So everywhere I'm getting this first 4 characters. But what I need is the number of characters till this space, so that I'll get the first name. So what we'll do, we'll go here. First, always try to hard code it so that you'll not get any errors or you'll not get any problems, so that you will know that yes, my function is proper. Now we'll make it dynamic. I'll remove this 4. Instead of this 4, what I'll do, anyways, I've already created one function here, that is function find, which will find the character, the position of a character, that is still space. So I can use this now, say function find. I just mentioned this because the name is actually getting divided by the space. So I've taken one function here, function find, which will give me the space till this whatever this find. So what I'll do, I'll say enter. Now what will happen, till this position space, whatever is there, it will give me the result the left side. So now you can see the result here. See, I'm getting the first name here. Let's go and see the same thing for right, that is for the second name. Say table tools, say new column. I get a column here, then we'll name it as last name equals. Now I should use right because I want the characters from right side. We'll take this text, say customer name, comma, here I'll just randomly give some value here. I'll just say 5. I'll say enter. I'll get 5 characters from right side. So here if you see, I'm getting 5 characters from left side. But what I need is, I want the number of characters after this space. So what we'll do, we'll use a logic here. We cannot use -1. Say take this find and say -1, because find will always take the position from left side, not from the right side. So in this case, what I'll do is, first I'll use this len, say len minus function find. So what this will do, it will take the total number of characters which is there in this len, that is, it will take the total number of characters in customer name minus till this space. So that will give me the remaining characters. Now I'll say enter. So it will give me the second name. So likewise, you can combine the functions as well. Now if you say this, I'm getting this second name, that is last name, like this. So you can mix your functions as well, or you can write a function in different column, and then that also you can refer in another function. So we saw how to get this left or say right or say first name or last name. Next is about replacing. Replacing means you're trying to replace a character or a word, anything. Now let's say we'll go to this order ID of this data column. Here I have this year, that is CA hyphen, then I have some year, that is 4 characters, then followed by some 6 characters. I want this middle 4 characters to be replaced with X, say XXX 4 times. Now what I'll do, I'll say new column and we'll say replace. use function equals replace. It lasts for the old text. Old text will be the column name. I'll say order ID, comma. It lasts for starting position. That is from where I need to start replacing. So in this case, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is from fourth position, comma, how many characters I need to replace. From fourth position, I need to replace 4 characters, comma. It lasts for new text. You can mention anything here. Say whatever you want, you can mention. I'll mention only one X and say close bracket. It will give me only one X here. That means all these 4 characters will be replaced by one X. If you go here, see, I want 4x to be replaced. Then I can go here. I can give 4x. You can give anything. It's not only x. You can give anything there. It will just replace with the order ID from fourth position. Say 4 characters and whatever character I'm giving here. Say enter. That will be replaced with 4 characters. Like this. This is for replacing. Next is substitute. This substitute is you are replacing a character, that is a specific character. Here we are replacing by position. Substitute will take a character and then it will replace. It is something like find and replace. I'm trying to find this hyphen and I'm trying to replace this with slash. Let's go here. Let's take this product ID. I want to replace this hyphen with slash. Say table tools, go to this new column. Then here I'll say function substitute equals, I'll use this substitute text. Text is nothing but the column. Say in this case I'm using this product ID, comma, it lasts for the old text. The old text is the hyphen. So I'm trying to, this is the product ID. Here I have this hyphen. I want to replace this with slash. Close bracket and say enter. When I say enter, the hyphens here will be replaced with slash. Like this. In this case, both the hyphens are replaced. Now, suppose if you want to replace only one hyphen, anything, it can be second one or first one. Then I'll say comma. Here it lasts for instance number. Instance number means which occurrence I need to replace. So in this case, if I say 1 and say enter, only the first hyphen, see, you can see that only the first hyphen will be replaced. Now if I go here and if I say 2, say enter, the second hyphen will be replaced. Like this. If I'm not mentioning anything, all the hyphens will be replaced. This is for substitute. Replace will replace based on the number of characters, the position and number of characters. Substitute will replace based on the character which I'm trying to replace. So it can be any character. If I go and give any other character, so that character will be replaced with whatever character I'm trying to replace it. Next one is about set trim. Trim function actually removes the unwanted spaces. So if you have some unwanted spaces, then I can remove remove these spaces by using this trim. So I'm not sure which column has got something like that. I'll just show you. Let's say we'll go to this customer, and somewhere, suppose if you think that there are some names which you are extracting from somewhere, and that has got some spaces. So if you want to remove, just go here and use this trim. Let's say function trim equals trim. It will ask for text. I'll say customer name or any text column. Say enter. If there are any unwanted spaces, it will remove completely. That will give me the values here. I'm not sure whether there are some spaces here. So just I'm telling, if in case if you feel that there are some columns which have imported with extra spaces, just give this trim, it will remove. These are some of the text functions. Coming to the date functions, we have some date functions wherein I can work on the date column. Let's assume that I have a date. I want to extract day, month, and year. In this case, let me take this order ID, order date. So here I have this day, month, and year. I want to separate it. Then I have function called as day, month, and year. Let's go here. I'll say new column. I want to extract day from the order date column. Say function day equals day of order date. Close bracket. Say enter. See, the date will be extracted. Month, column name, function month of order date. So it should be a date column, otherwise it will not work. So I'll get the date here, that is month. Similarly, I can also do this for year as well. See, I got the month. Say column, say year. Equals year of order date. Close bracket. I'll say enter. This is like getting day, month, and year in separate columns from a date column. Now suppose if I have a date in different columns, say day, month, and year. See, day, month, and year in a separate columns. If you want to convert this into date, then I have a function called as date function, which will help me in combining these three functions. Say function date equals date of, now it lasts for year, month, and day. Now already we have these three columns. Suppose if you think that day, month, and year are in different columns, then I can go here. I can take that, say function year, comma, function month, comma, function day. Okay. Say enter. Now it will take the parameter of year, month and day, and this will combine. That will give me the date. Just in case, I'm telling you, if we have day, month and year in a separate columns, then I'll have this combined by using this date function. That is date. Now we can extract the day, month and year without using the function as well. I'll just show you quickly how we can do that. It's a new column. Say function date2 equals. You just have to mention the date, say order date. If you go and check this, see, I have this date, day, month, year, whatever. So if I mention this, automatically I'll get the date. Say I don't have to use the function also. I have an option, say order date, that is date dot. If I say enter, I'll get the day. Suppose if you want to get the month name or say quarter or something, then I can use this. So if you go here, so I'm getting the same result like what we have this function. We have used this day. Here this dot day also will give me similar result. Let's go and see if we can get this quarter and also month name as well we can take. Now I'll say function month name equals order date dot, you can see here dot month. Say enter, I'll get the month name. Like this. Now suppose if you want to get quarter, say new column. Function equals order date. So here I have this quarter or quarter number. If I say quarter, then it will say QTR 1, 2, 3, 4. If I say quarter number, it will say 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can just try that as well. This is for quarter. So this will give me QTR 1, QTR 2. See, like this. Suppose if I'm just using the quarter number, then I'll get only the number, say 1, 2, 3, 4. Function quarter number equals order date dot, say quarter number, say enter, I'll get the quarter number. See, I'll get only the number. So like this, you can extract, say day, month or year, or you can combine that, or you can extract the month name or quarter as well. Right. Next one is date diff and date add. Date diff means to find the difference between two dates. Date add means I can add the number of days, months or year to a date. Let's go here. It's a new column. If you want to find date difference, but here when I'm finding a date difference, make sure that the dates are in proper format. Otherwise, you might get, say, error or blank values. Let me go here. Say function date diff equals date diff. It lasts for date 1. I'll say order date, comma, then I'll say ship date. So we have two dates here. Now, comma, it lasts for interval. Interval means I can get the difference between two dates, whether it can be in hour, minute, or say month, quarter, so whatever I need. Let's say I'll take it by day. If I say day, that means the interval whatever is there, it will give me the difference between these two date, that will be showing in number of days. Suppose if I give year, then it will show me in years. So if you go here, it will give me the difference between two dates, that is number of days. See, it will give me the difference between those two dates. Suppose if you go here and check, say this order date and ship date. So from 25th September to 30th September, it is giving me 5 days like this. So it will give me the number of days. Next is date add. That means it is trying to add the number of days or months or year depending on the interval what I give. Let's say new column, and I'll mention it as date add. Function date add equals, say date add. Here I'll take order date, comma, now it lasts for number of intervals. Number of intervals means how many days or months or year I need to add. Let's say I'll take 10 days, comma, it will ask. If I say day, it will add number of days. If I say a month, it will add number of months, say quarter or year. So in this case, let's say day, and I'll say, sorry, day, say enter. It will give me the date, that is, it will add 10 days for each day here. See, it is adding the dates here. So if you don't have a proper, say, date format, then I'll have some blank values like this. Otherwise, it will add 10 days from this order date like this. These are some of the date functions. So still there are so many other date functions that I'll tell you when you come to this advanced DAX functions. So today we just understood about what is column, measure and table, and we wrote, or say we created some functions, that is text functions and date functions.